Okay, so hi everyone. So we are the team PP Collective, and our project is called Bubble Burst. So the topic is content discovery, and the idea is you are reading through an article and you are like, maybe I'm interested in like what the other side of the political spectrum is writing about this topic. So we basically build a browser extension that scrapes or gets the data from the Newsmatics API and then writes like a graph where you can actually search through the articles. And next up will be Jakub for more information.
So hi there. I'm going to just quickly run through the tech stack. So for the front end, we used React with TypeScript and Chart.js for the like graphs and stuff, and like the Chrome extension stuff for the actual extension. And in the back end, we use News Index API for the majority of the data or everything. Fast API for the API routes and everything, and OAMA Qwen 2.5 for the LLM that we use for keyword extraction and as well Spacey for the keyword extraction. Like the whole architecture works that we have both Chrome extension and an actual web page or web app that are doing basically the same thing but not, and are communicating with the backend API, which is a fast API server which communicates with the Newsmatics API for the data and filters it and gets the right data, I'm gonna say. And like the technology or tools we have used is a holy trio of GitHub Copilot, ChatGPT, and Gemini, and the news index dataset, some of our generated CSVs, and Spacey and TenStack query, as I already said.
And now, okay, so now I'm going to just go through some features, extra features that we have that you'll actually see in the demo in a moment. But first is comparison. So this feature lets the user see like a AI overview of the differences between the two articles that the user chooses. And the other feature that we have is a tone analyzer. And well, whatever. But anyways, this is also, we're using LLM for this, and the user can sort of see like the tone of the article and these bars. And this is also just the web app feature. So now to the demo.
Okay, so for the demo, I have a web page. The casino.org is in the Newsmatics API, and I have the extension, and after clicking on it, it will start loading some of the articles, which should be cached, but never mind. So they are here. We can sort them by some intervals that we want them to look at. So we can see that we are interested in topics about casinos or sports betting. So if we are now at the center, but if we want to look at what the right wing is talking about, we can look at the gambling machines shutdown in Florida, and we can also look at it from longer periods of time, like what has happened, and in case of some major event, they can be traced to the source. So yeah, but also it works for more other ways. We can also look at the comparisons. This is a simple comparison where we have a link to the web page and also the publication and the owner for all of the publishers. We can also compare it as we have seen it already, and here are some of the things you may have seen at the presentation, and also we can compare the article contents. And we have also mentioned that there we have a web page, and it's a web view for the same thing, but also with a link. So if you have a concrete link that you want to analyze, you can just put it there and click analyze. So if I want to this Bitcoin thing here, analyze, it's already cached. So we can see that there were many links about Bitcoin related stuff at the API in the last days. Yeah. And that's all from us.
5 minutes exactly.
Thank you for the presentation. I have one question. Did you find some article which would showcase slightly more different, spread among those, sites?
I don't think we did. We only we had all of them at one time, so they were all like pushed up, and one article was just like outlier on the other side, but nothing like really just everything to the right and nothing to the left, nothing like that.
Well, maybe that's a revelation on its own. Thank you.
Okay. During the presentation, you mentioned that you also analyze the tone of the article, and you also mentioned that you are able to analyze the objectivity. How do you do that?
Yeah, so there is a prompt for LLM, and we just hope it guesses right, I'm gonna say. But it's pretty, I think, good prompt. I don't think the LLM we used, it's like just light local LLM, so if we used like heavier ChatGPT or something, it should be better than what we used right now. But I think it analyzes it pretty well, and what I have read or tested myself, it looked pretty alright. So, yeah.
I think it's great, to be honest. So anyway, regarding this chart specifically, what does the width encode? Like if I just look at the center, so what does it mean that the dot that's highlighted now is to the right?
It's just a jitter to like differentiate the articles so that they aren't on the same spot, so you can actually click on the other ones.
Okay, and that's random. Like the position is kind of random there.
It's actually a timeline you can see to the left. There's a very little date.
Yeah, but I mean on the x-axis, not y-axis.
Oh yeah, it's just
okay.
jitter to differentiate. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, it makes it can look. It can introduce noise to the reader.
It could, but also it separates the values. It would just be like a straight line of dots, and you couldn't really press it right.
Okay, and if you had to do like a deterministic version of that, how would you solve that?
You've got 10 seconds to...
So I would believe that we would need because we just had these data, we worked with the data we get from the API. So if they were like percentile or something that like 30% right, then we could do it deterministically, but with just these six columns, we couldn't really.
Thanks. Great work, guys.